Greetings, Internet. My name is Chris, and this is how to tank in Update 6 in ESO. So they've changed the game quite a bit in Update 6. They implemented the champion system. Speaking of which, actually, I have a point here I can spend. Let's put it in there. So you have some interesting stuff. You have stuff like reduced magic cost of spells. I'll get to why I have so much in this in just a second. You have bashing focus, reduces the cost of bashing, reduces the cost of stamina, and then you have these passives. 33% chance to reduce an enemy's movement speed, blah 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 blah. Let's see, there's one I really like. It's not this one. Well, actually, yeah. This one, because I have 10 points in it, I get reduced damage by 15% when I try to rest someone. It's kind of nice. And then I'm using a lot in the steed here. Block cost reduction. I'll get to why this is also important in just a second. You get stuff like 20% chance to restore health and bashing. After a roll dodge, you get armor and spell penetration. Resistance, not penetration, right? And you have shield expert, stuff like that. I mean, it's nice, it helps. One of the things though, what they did in order to make the champion system viable is actually reduce pretty much all your resources and change a lot of things. So they might have multiplied most things by 10, but health, for example, and magic and armor and all that, it'll be less because they changed a lot of things around. So yeah. So let's look at my stats here. Did I forget to eat food? I did. Alright, hold on. Okay, so just ate some food. So this is without the Emperor buff. This is how much health I have. 36k. Seem to remember it being more. Oh right, it's because of these. Yeah. I changed these over from my DK so they have magic on them. Usually I'd have health on all of them. So you could see that would be 1k more, so it'd be 37 if I had health on those. Anyway, so I'm on my Nightblade here. Actually, let's just put on a costume because, you know, those look nice. Okay, didn't work. No? That is weird. Oh, it's because of my guild tower, right? There we go. Alright, so I'm on my Nightblade, and Nightblades have had a considerable nerf about one of their passives. This one, to be precise. Catalyst. If you remember, I used to be able to heal myself a shit ton with a healing potion. Where do we have those? With a tripod here. Right now it does almost 7k, which is not bad. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's not bad, and it's because of this effectiveness champion point thing, whatever. I have 10 points in it, which gives me 5% more. So you could see that being viable once I have 120 points in it, but that's like 2 or 3 years away. Because, you know, we already don't have enough stuff to grind. But yeah, this now just gives you ultimate when you drink a potion, which is useless. Because, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much, I almost want to take my points out of it, even though I have points in pretty much everything. I do have in everything. Ooh. But yeah, it's just pointless now. Before it was really good, and that way you could self-heal yourself with a Nightblade. They also nerfed the Veil Blades. I have the other morph because this one actually gives me 60% to myself. It used to be 70 on all the morphs, where it reduces the damage you take by 70%, but now it's 30 unless you take Bolstering Darkness, and it's 60. So it kind of sucks, and this morph doesn't do any damage. But I mean, it's still nice. It reduces enemy movement, and it decreases how much damage you take by a considerable amount. They also made it so there are no longer any hard caps, which is kind of funny because of, let me see, which is it? Yeah, this one, Dark Vigor. So let me show you something. This is my health right now, 36.5 pretty much. So if I just put on all the shadow abilities here and leave this structured entropy, just let's see, all of a sudden I have 38. If I had Emperor buff and a little bit more health on my armor, I'd have about, oh wait, jump to 40. Ooh, okay. But I'd have a lot more. So I wonder if there's a interesting, okay, so there's actually a difference between how much health I have depending on where this is sitting. Or not. That's kind of weird. I'm not sure if that's kind of broken. Oh, it's back to 40 now. Very confusing. But yeah, so I mean, you can stack health to the max. I kind of like stacking health because it takes longer for you to die, and there's some things you just survive where everyone else will die. However, I think the Nightblade is now pretty much the shittiest tank. It's still good. It's not. I mean, it's not bad because you still have stuff like double take, which along with his spark will pretty much be like insane because you pretty much just dodge every single attack. And you have stuff like Soul Tether, which now hits up to 6 enemies and heals you a ton. It's a really nice ability, and I have it on my off bar. It only costs 150, which is kind of nice as well. But yeah, I mean, they don't have as much going for them as they did before. The Killer's Blade is really nice as well, because it heals you 21% of max health, and if you're stacking health, that's awesome. Of course, I have it on the bar where I have only 30k health, but it will still give me a considerable amount of health. So yeah. Alright, so let's get to the reason why I have my points into, what was it? Here. Why I have my points into the Magician and my points into the block expertise. First off, the Magician is because of one reason, a really stupid change, I think, and that's the Inner Fire. You can see I have it set to Inner Rage because the Inner Beast morph now uses stamina, which is kind of confusing because it's still ranged, but it uses stamina, so I don't understand it, to be honest. But look at the cost. That's fucking 3200 magicka. That's crazy. Like, look at the pierce armor. This is my puncture. It cost alright, so let's try this out. Let me do calculate. Let's see. I'm just using an add-on a friend of mine made. So that is 2.3 times more. This thing costs 2.3 times more than the puncture on this tune. That's crazy. That's fucking ludicrous. And it makes a huge difference because the amount this costs with the amount of magic I have, it's usually around 13k, but of course I have magic on these two things. But with the amount of magic I have, I can use it about 4 times, and then I'm completely out of magicka, which I think is retarded. I went back and looked at some of my old footage, and Inner Beast used to cost 240, and Puncture used to cost 150. So they definitely didn't scale this by 10 times, but what they said in their patch notes was that they slightly raised the cost because now all the morphs and normal ability have 28 meters in range, and synergy is better. But it's just ludicrous because the ability itself does no damage compared to Pierce Armor. Pierce Armor does almost twice as much damage, and it has a huge debuff like Major Fracture, Major Breach, which is just, I mean, it's a really good taunt. I just have problems with it, unfortunately. But like this thing here does no damage. The synergy is alright, but it's not that awesome, and definitely doesn't warrants having fucking 3200 cost. It's ludicrous, and I hope it's a mistake that they'll fix, because right now it's just making taunting very, very annoying. Alright, so the other thing, the reason why I have my points into the blocking expertise is because block cost a shit ton. Alright, so I have reduced a shield plate enchant here, so reduces cost of blocking. Let me take all these off here, and let's speak to the friendly tiger down here. So let's see how much I lose per hit. If he can hit me. Come on. That's 5%, 7%, 5%. Alright, so this is a shitty comparison, but you can see it's between 10 and 5% of my max stamina. So if we put on the rings again, find another participant. Where the fuck did I put them? There. And that one. But it makes a huge difference because basically blocking costs a lot. I've had some people argue that, oh, but now it's oh, actually let's try with 4 of these here. But now it's like, oh, you have to time your blocks and stuff like that. But that is ludicrous in a lot of situations. You see my Malabeth going off there. Alright, so just watch my stamina. I'm not taunting with stamina, I'm just holding block. Alright. Just holding block. Look how much stamina I'm using right now. I'd have to chuck potions over and over in order to keep up with this. One thing that's nice though is the ultimate build. You can see I'm constantly regenerating ultimate. Before you wouldn't regenerate any ultimate when you're blocking, which sucked a lot. Here you can see this is the soul tether. It's 1.6 times 6. It's really nice. But yeah, it's kind of silly how much it costs. But at the same time, it makes kind of sense that you would use shield play things. What's it called? Enchants. Because the potion effectiveness have been nerfed as well. I'll show you that in a second here. Let's just kill these guys. I also wanted you to see the execute here. Come on. No? Okay, that didn't work. Christ. The thing is, I try to make short videos. Well, I don't actually try, but it's not like I want to make large videos. Oh, wow, okay, so that healed me 10k. Did it crit heal? That makes... How would it crit heal? Okay, so apparently it can crit heal. That makes no sense. Anyway, yeah, so you can see that. I mean, that took away a lot of my stamina. So I'll put on the stuff again. We'll find another group. I'll show you that again. So yeah, like shield blocking is very expensive now. So I definitely recommend running with shield play enchants. And if you're really keen on using the inner fire taunt, I recommend stacking Magicka, but it will probably be changed. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping they'll change it, but at the same time, I have no fucking clue. They might just go, nope, too bad, not gonna change anything. So, yeah, it is how it is. I'm kind of hoping they will, though, because it's kind of crazy. And it's definitely not a slight cost raise, or whatever they said. Slightly raise the cost, I think it was. So you can see here, let me pull some more. There's a big difference between how much stamina I'm using compared to before. So you see my regen is actually almost keeping up with it, which is kind of nice. And drop a bolstering darkness here, so I take way less damage. It's very nice. I mean, it's not like a Nightblade isn't useful for tanking now. It's just gonna be pretty much impossible to do the what people refer to as the Hodor tactic on the final boss in the DSA, unless your group just groups up. They also changed the armor, how much you gain. So light armor will give you way less compared to heavy armor and medium armor. I think if you look at heavy armor as being 1, light armor is 1/4, medium armor is 3/4. So yeah, it's basically light armor gives a quarter of the armor that heavy does, which is fucking about time, because I'm tired of light armor tanks. Like, if you're gonna be a light armor tank, you better not be as fucking efficient as a heavy armor tank. I think that's really annoying. Like, it kind of bothered me that people were just like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna fucking tank in light armor because, you know, it's as useful. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, I think we should move on to my other characters. I have a Sorcerer and also a Dragonknight now, which is kind of neat. So I'll move on to those. I think I talked about all I wanted to talk about with the Nightblades. So basically, the Nightblades are the worst tank now. I mean, they still have a lot going for them. They have the what was it called? Let's see here. I mean, they have the blur, the double take as I morphed it into. They have the bowstring darkness, and the fact that dark vigor is a lot more efficient now. But at the same time, it's just they don't have any self heal, and I could use a potion, but it would give me at the moment only 7k health return, which isn't that much compared to what we can get on a Sorc. You might be thinking, what is this about a Sorc? Well, I'll show you. Alright, so I'm on my Sorc. I actually forgot to show you the difference. So this is a medium belt compared to a heavy belt. You can see there's about 300 or so armor difference. My belt is of course legendary, so it does a little bit more. Let's see if I have a light belt somewhere. Do we have a light belt? Let's try a glove then. You can see, okay, that's vet 12 versus vet 13, but you can see the difference is huge. And as it stands now, I think armor gives you spell resistance as well. Alright, so what was it I wanted to show you? Right. So basically they've changed a lot for the Sorcerer now. They have a lot more going for them than they did before. First off, they reduced the cost of restraining prison. If they hadn't, this would cost about 4k now. So it's kind of on par with talents in a way. I still don't use it because I still don't like it. Suppression field, or absorb magic. No, what's it called? Not absorb magic. Absorption field. The negate morphs have been changed. So that's kind of annoying. But with the suppression field, you'll now take less damage when you're inside of it. You also get spell penetration, which is kind of nice. For the absorption field, it no longer just takes away any enemy AoE inside of it, so it's been hugely nerfed in that respect. Storm Atronach is a lot better, so that's why I have it on my bar. It is an instant cast now, which is kind of annoying, so you have to sort of get used to that. But it will, let me see here, it will increase your health recovery. So you can see this is how much I have with it on. Let's take it off, and that one too. Does it have to update or something? Because before it didn't change that quickly, so I might have to just catch up with me, because I'm supposed to lose about, how much was it? It's a fair amount. It's allowed 40%. Oh, 20%. Okay, it's not changing anything. That's kind of, I don't know if the UI is glitched or whatever. So alright, so my bar is a little bit different too. You can see I have bound armaments instead of, what was it, low slash that I used to have before. This is kind of nice though, because heroic slash will give you more ultimate regeneration. But I'll get into why this is kind of nice. They changed the bound armor, which this is a morph of. Here it is. they changed it so that it increases your armor, and it no longer costs anything. Like, this will actually increase your max stamina or magicka depending on what you went with. I went with the stamina one for one reason only. Let me put it on. It is Daedric Imperial style. Even though the magicka one would be more useful, this just looks fucking badass. And I had to do it. There's one downside to the bound armor though. If I try to put on a costume, let me take this off. Oh. Yeah, I have a costume on now, but if I put on the bound armor, yep, it goes away. So that kind of sucks. Oh well. It is how it is. Hopefully they'll change that. I don't know. So yeah, I'm running with this. It increases my stamina with a bit. I don't have any food. That's why. Okay. Kind of thinking I was missing a lot of my stuff. So you can see I have 15k with it on, and 14 with it off. So it gives just about a k in magicka, or stamina. I mean. So they've changed a lot of things, as I've said. You can see, for example, I actually have points into these abilities here that I wouldn't actually have before. So if we go to my secondary bar, I now have unstable clan fear here. Now, why I have this is because of the, if you read the text very bottom of it, it says clan fear remains until killed or unsummoned. When the clan fear expires, it heals you for 35% of your maximum health. And since I'm stacking health, as you can see if I switch over, I have 35k. Since I'm stacking health, that is crazy. Okay, so what I do as a self heal, that was the wrong button. I summon it, and then I switch over. And if you look to the left of the screen, it says 13.2k. If we have the Emperor buff, that's about 14k self heal, which is insane. That's pretty much the best self heal in the game. It has a massive downside to it though. I have to switch over, and when you switch over, you're not blocking for about a second, and you can't block while you're casting it. See, I'm actually hitting my button to summon it. Oh, that's wrong. There we go. But yeah, I'm not blocking right there. Which, so that's a huge downside. So it's basically, you have to be very careful when you try to do the self heal. Otherwise, it'll just be a reason why you die. So, actually, we'll have a clip running here, showing, pretty much just showing how I was able to heal myself without a healer during one of the fights in Spindle Clutch. And this was basically a fight where the healer, I think, crashed or something while we were doing it, and we were already engaging the boss. So I just had to pop out and do the thing real fast. Or the clan fear, I mean. So I had to do that, self-heal, keep taunting the boss, whatever. Do that and self-heal, just keep repeating that. You should hopefully be seeing it if my if my video wizardry has worked. I'm not sure how long it takes. I'll probably just try and time it here. Oh. Okay, so it takes about 3 seconds if you're really fast to do the self-heal. So 3 to 4 seconds, and that's kind of a long time actually for a self-heal. Still not as good as Blessing of Light or Dragon's Blood. Alright, I'm assuming the clip is over. So what we'll check out here, I think I have more to talk about. Alright, the Boundless Storm, it does cost a lot more now, but it lasts longer. It lasts 15 seconds and increases your spell resistance and physical armor by a hefty amount. I haven't actually used it because I'm not used to putting it on, but this is a very useful skill if you're stacking armor or spell resistance. I have heard people make good arguments for spell resistance and armor stacking, but at the same time I think that you sacrifice a little bit too much. I prefer to have a lot of health, and then maybe take a little bit more damage from attacks, than have a little amount of health and get maybe, okay, I don't take as much damage from an attack, but it'll be easier to kill me because I basically have less health. I mean, it's kind of a dumb argument I'm trying to make, but I just like having more health, is what I'm trying to say. Alright, so I'm gonna switch over to my Dragonknight, which is the last character that I have as a tank. I still don't have a Templar tank, and honestly, after after leveling this Dragonknight here, I'm probably not gonna level anything for quite a while, because that took forever to do, and it's not fun, it's not entertaining. I think the leveling is kind of dull in this game. I have already completed every single quest in the game, pretty much, at least once, some of them 2 or 3 times now, and I don't want to do it a 4th time, to be honest, and grinding is not fun either. Oh well. Okay, so I'm on my Dragonknight here. Let's take off this costume so you can just see my gear. I'm running around in my Nightblade's former Bloodspawn set, so it's pretty much a light armor head. I need to change this because the headpiece is just too weak. Like compared to what it would give in armor if it was heavy. So I need to go farm the shit out of Spindle to get the Bloodspawn helm. It's kind of annoying though, because they changed how the drops work. So now you'll get a drop only from the final boss. So yeah, I'm running that because of a very important thing if you're a Dragonknight. I think it's under here. Nope, it's under Earth and Flame, or Earth and Heart. So Dragonknights, I didn't know this before I made one myself, but they have pretty much the most overpowered passive in the game. Activating the ultimate restores health, magic, and stamina in amounts increased by 70% of the ultimate's cost. If I use my 250 cost standard or might, I pretty much get about 70% of my 70 or 80% of my total resources returned, which is kind of crazy. It also heals me, which is nuts as well. Then you have Magma Shell. This is also a crazy ability to make you pretty much invulnerable for 11 seconds. Ignite the molten lava in your veins to cap incoming damage at 3% of your max health. So basically, when this is active, every attack will only do 3% of my max health, which, if you know math, will take I think about 33.33333 times hits to kill you. So I mean, you probably won't get hit that much when you're in the form, so it's pretty much invulnerability for the amount of time it's active, which is kind of, I mean, that's fucking crazy. I've gotta say. Then you have talents, which is cheaper than the sorcerer equivalent. You have dragon fire scale. It's kind of, I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy, to be honest. And then you have, of course, green dragon blood, which just heals you 33% of your missing health. So all around, it's just crazy being a Dragonknight tank, because basically I am invulnerable in most cases. I'll have a video showing here of SO. I did the bottom tank. We didn't beat the Manticora, but I did the bottom tank of the Manticora. I was very fortunate to be allowed to actually tank it. That's like I think it's my 2nd or 3rd time in there, in SO. I haven't done much endgame PvP, because usually I'm not on at the hours that most of the big guilds PvP at here in the NA server. But yeah, I was very fortunate to get in it. So I have a clip showing here where basically we fall down in the bottom hole, but there's no healer. It's just 3 DPSs and me. And this was because 2 people fell down at once and sort of confused the bottom group. So yeah, and you can see in the video I'm just healing myself up with green dragon blood. I activate Magma Shell at one point as well. And it's crazy. That bottom boss is nuts. With the amount of armor and spell resistance I have, it's about 20k, I think. Yeah, 20k spell resistance, 20k armor, and with that amount, I still take between 5 and 20k damage from his hits. It seems a little bit inconsistent with the bottom boss, I've noticed. While you look at that clip, I'm also going to talk about Vet DSA, because they changed that a bit. It seems like the final boss is easier now, I like to say. He's different though, because he doesn't do as much damage, at least not to the tank. So it's kind of easier being the tank, and also the mini ants that he spawns out, basically the smaller bosses, they're easier to kill, along with wait, no, I think those are the same, but the fire liners, the summoners that he spawns, and the Atronachs that spawn out of the flames, those are easier to kill, which means that we'll probably soon see a different tactic used on the final boss and Vet DSA, other than the Hodor tactic that everyone has been using, which I'm very glad for, because honestly, that's like one of the most difficult things to learn as a tank in this game, to self-heal and split away, and oh dear god, yeah. So that clip should be over, and I only have a few more things to talk about. Again, I'm gonna mention this. This isn't actually a video to show you how to tank. I've showed you that in the other videos. But I will mention this, and I will say it multiple times until everyone understands it. If you want to be a good tank, it's all about taunt rotation. It's about being able to keep everything on you. And taunt rotation is basically just refreshing a taunt on the enemy before your previous taunt runs out. You have 15 seconds before it runs out, so it's about re-taunting every 12 seconds, every 10 seconds, every 8 seconds, whatever you're comfortable with, as long as you just don't taunt 3 times in 10 seconds. If you do that, the boss will lose taunt and just go rampant, and you can't get the taunt back for at least 10 seconds. Or 5 seconds, or however long it is. That's basically called over-taunting. There are certain ways you can practice this. You can use add-ons that show you how long your taunt lasts, and other things like that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, since I'm running with the DK here, I have a different set. I use the Seducer, and all my enchants are Magicka, except for the helmet here, which means I have way less health. Without the Emperor, I have just shy of 28k, but I have about 18k Magicka, which is really nice, which means I can use the inner rage a lot more. It costs 300 less, even though I have freaking, let's see, 8% from the Seducer, and where's the other one? And 7%, almost 8% from the champion points. So I have pretty much 16% worth of Magicka cost reduction, and it still just costs 3k to use the fucking inner fire. It's kind of crazy. I hope they will fix it. I have feedbacked it 100 times now, it seems like, because I want them to change it back. It used to be that they actually had the puncture cost more than the inner fire, and then they actually reduced the cost of puncture to be more aligned with inner fire. But now they just out of nowhere buffed inner fire, and I don't see any reason for it. It doesn't do a lot of damage, and it's just confusing. I hope they'll change it, hopefully. Oh well, I think I've talked about pretty much everything I wanted to talk about, all the changes they've made to tanking. It is a lot more difficult to be a Sorcerer and Nightblade tank now, since you can't stack potion effectiveness. Because pretty much potion effectiveness, the glyph, all it does is just increase the duration of the overtime heal, which is useless. So yeah, kind of sucks, but that's how it is. Sorcerers do have a little bit more going for them now, and they're also rapidly becoming some of the best DPSs in the game, which I'm very happy for. they've been at the bottom for quite a while. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you liked this video, found it informative in some way. My throat is sore now, I should probably drink something. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much, and hopefully I did help you out a little bit. Basically, what you can take away from this, stack cost block reduction, stack stamina, no, stack magicka, whatever. Yeah, I don't know, fuck. I mean, it's kind of confusing. I hope they'll figure some of the stuff out though, because like the inner fire, it costs way too much. I mean, it's just too expensive, and it just ruins tanking a lot, I think. So yeah. Well, see you later. I hope you liked this video. I already said that. Oh well. Bye.